Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. In this video, I'm going to review the book, The Silent Twins by Marjorie Wallace. I'm going to tell you what I liked about the book. I'm going to tell you what I didn't really like about the book. Then I'm going to tell you whether I think you should read the book or just skip it. Now, at any point, feel free to click the notification bell or subscribe to my channel to get more content. So, without further ado, let's begin. So the book, The Silent Twins, is about these two Afro-Caribbean girls living in Wales in Great Britain who basically only talk to each other. Now, the book was written by a British investigative journalist, Marjorie Wallace, who met the girls in 1982. Now, at the time, they were being institutionalized for various crimes they had committed at the Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital in England. The book was published in 1986, and in 2021, it was actually adapted to a film called The Silent Twins. Now, I previously reviewed this film. You can find a link to that review in the description box below. Also, I saw that film on Amazon Prime, and so I have a link for a free trial for Amazon Prime that's in the description as well. So, what did I like about the book? Well, one of the big weaknesses of the film was it tried to condense a bunch of events that took place over many years in a basically 2-hour film. For example, in the film, it shows one incident of the girls breaking and entering in a house, a particular house, as well as one arson event. However, in the book, you get details of multiple burglaries, multiple arson events, and a series of crimes that took place, again, over many years. And so when you get to the scene where the girls are basically giving a lifetime of restrictions based on the crimes as well as their apparent mental illness, in the movie, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because, again, you're only seeing those two incidents. Where in the book, you've read about incident after incident after incident. And so when you get to that point, it's like, oh, that makes sense that they got such a significant sentence because of the series of crimes, the amount of damage that they caused, the amount of distress that they caused in various people's lives. Another thing I liked about the book is that you actually hear from the perspective of the girls themselves. Now, whenever you have brazen crimes, like, for example, arson, oftentimes you only really hear from either the victims of that crime or the prosecutors. Well, in this book, you hear from the actual perpetrator, and you get the kind of internal logic that was kind of motivating the behaviors, which from the outside seems irrational, but from their perspective and the way that they explain it, for them, it makes total sense. So what didn't I like about the book? Well, one of the big things I did not like about the book is something that the book lacked and the film had. Now, in the film, you got to kind of see the internal kind of mental state or the thinking of the girls through these kind of imaginary vignettes. So they had animation, they had almost, I think, like stop motion, if not CGI. But basically, you had these kind of stories that they, like when they told stories, you kind of saw it illustrated on the screen. Now, the book doesn't have anything like that. So in the book, whenever they talked about kind of what was going on with them and kind of any kind of escape or what have you, it was very sterile, it was very cold. And oftentimes a lot of that imagery that you saw in the film just wasn't present in the book. I mean, Marjorie Wallace was very matter of fact. She's a journalist. And so she was kind of telling the story as a journalist would, just recounting in very kind of cold terms all these things that happen, whether it be the sexual encounters, whether it be the kind of crimes, the vandalism that they committed, whether it be their parents' kind of lack of knowledge of what's going on and their kind of obtuseness at various points. And so it's one of those things that, you know, as a like newspaper article, this works, but as a narrative book that you have to read chapter after chapter, it can kind of droll on for a bit. And another thing I didn't like about the book was the explicit sexual content. All right, so just to kind of put it out there, I'm not a prudish person. I love shows like The Boys, like House of the Dragon. I actually reviewed House of the Dragon. You should be able to see a card for that on your screen. So, you know, I'm not prudish. Clockwork Orange, you know, they talk about graphic, sexual, you know, violence, things like that, you know, ultra violence. So those things don't bother me. But the thing about this book is you have descriptions of encounters between 18, 19-year-old girls with underage boys, some as young as 13 years old. And so, as a 41-year-old man at this point, I'm just not really that interested in hearing about the sexual encounters between these girls and these young boys. It just doesn't. It's not something that I'm seeking out or interested in. And so that's something that kind of detracts. So as I got to those parts and I was reading through it, it was kind of like, oh God, here we go again. And the movie had some of that too, though. Had the movie translated the book specifically or literally. The movie would have been NC-17 or X-rated. So they actually pared back a lot in the film. Even in the film, I think I said icky, the kind of technical term. But the idea is that I felt uncomfortable watching these sexual encounters between, in the film it was, again, the girls were about 18, 19, and it was of age boys. Now in the book, again, many of the sexual encounters they had were with boys under the age of 18. So, should you read the book or just skip it? And so what I would say is this: the movie is accurate enough to the book. So as I was reading the book, so I read the book after I watched the film. I had started reading the book a little bit before and then stopped, watched the film, and then finished the book. And so what happened is I noticed that a lot of things that were in the film were kind of almost like verbatim in the book. So they did translate it, not literally, because again, there were certain things that had it been in the film, it would have made it X-rated. But the point is, there's enough details, enough major points in the book, in the movie, that you could watch the movie and still get the gist of the story. The thing about the book is the book felt at times very voyeuristic and salacious. And so as I'm reading through it, I'm thinking, this is making me uncomfortable. I don't like this. And I don't see the point what this is ultimately leading to. Isn't like a call for reforms. Again, this happened in 1981, 82. So any of those reforms hopefully have already taken place. And again, I'm not as familiar with the Welsh psychiatric system and that stuff. So maybe they have, maybe they haven't. The point is, I didn't see, like, it's not like this is a cautionary tale, because again, the parents, I just didn't see the point or didn't see any benefit from the book. And so with that, again, the film, after watching the film, I felt hopeful. I marveled at the performances of Tamara Lawrence and Letitia Wright. It was a powerful story, a beautiful story with the kind of imaginary images and things like that. So, and again, it gave the basic same story as was in the book. So it's not like that they took away something significantly in the film that's not in the book. It's all there, other than the salacious part. And so again, I don't see the point of reading the book when you have the film out there. And so if you found the review helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if there are other books on Black British history or culture that you want me to review on this channel, please leave those suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.